Hello, good morning, everybody. I hope you're excited about AI. Today, we're going to get into our third and most important module. We're going to talk about the jobs category here in jobs. So, if you remember the Tupperware bowl, the first Tupperware bowl was our contacts. That's the biggest bowl. The next bowl, Tupperware bowl, that fits inside there is our jobs. This is where we're going to do most of our work out of, and this is how we're going to use Alex to move our calls around. So it's going to seem a little weird, but I'm going to demonstrate a phone call here real quick and how that phone call is directly related to the jobs. So I'm going to go ahead and have a phone call come in, and I'm going to show you how we answer it. Okay, we got an incoming call. There we are. I just accepted it. Hello, thanks for calling Fast Response Heating and Cooling. This is Bill. How may I make your day better today?
Thank you for answering. This was an example call. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. There was Nick. He was helping me with that. So that is how a call comes in. And the reason I got that call was because I am right here as a contact, and this is my job. This is just a test job. So this is the test job record, as you can see. Now, we do get a lot of phone calls here. So I real quickly want to demonstrate a pretty advanced feature here that is going to be in some more advanced training. But right now, I want to make sure I don't get another call while I'm doing this video, right? So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to Settings, Manage Users, and we go to Groups. We go down here to Scheduling CS. So this group right here is the group that that job was assigned to. I just took myself out of that group. So now anybody that calls in, these are the only people that are going to answer. So we'll go back here to jobs. All right, so we're back to jobs. All right, so I showed you why a phone call happens, and now I want to explain to you how it kind of builds off of our whole AI flow. All right, so let's go into this job right here on West Kemper Road, and it's the same as you saw a little bit earlier in the video. We can schedule a job. That means we can assign a job to a technician. We can follow, edit, and then we can go here, delete the job. Don't ever do that, please. Maps, export to PDF, send email, things like that. Um, but here's why this becomes our most important piece of Tupperware. So think about how we get calls. American Home Shield gets a call. Customer says they have a problem with their heating and air conditioning. They say fantastic. They assign it to Fast Response Heating and Cooling. It comes into us as a job that is offered to us. Once we get it, we can either accept it or decline it or whatever Miss Jody does. I really don't know what she does. And that flag gets assigned to it. So we'll back up one step here. We'll back up one step. We'll go from, I want to go back to this, and I want to go to my offered jobs. Okay, so all these jobs are offered. They haven't been accepted yet. So let's look at one of these. Total incoming calls, they haven't called us at all. If we go to scheduled, you can see that we've had quite a few people call. Okay, so these phone calls are attached to the job, and the job has a customer, right? So there's the customer name. This is the job. So we're going to be doing all of our work inside the jobs um, tab. This is where all of our work's going to occur. So our phone calls are attached here. Our days on the job will be here. So again, it's something that they're in the process of fixing, but this will let us know how many days this job has been open. And this is where the AI gets stored for the most part. So we'll go to this one right here. I'm going to go to details, and I want to explain a little bit of the AI inside this again. We kind of briefly talked about it, but there's our data capture link. Here is if we had an AHS call, that would mean American Home Shield called in about this job. That would be stored right here. I can show you an example of that real quick. We just go down here to HSA and clear that. I must have messed with my filter when I was doing a video there, didn't I? Okay, so maybe, they're related to HSA job field. And again, this is brand new. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking I did this a little bit differently. I think that I actually attached this record there. Nope. I had a brain fart, guys. I hope you can't smell it in the video, but I was in the contacts, not the jobs. You'll probably find yourself doing that as well. Okay, so getting back to the HSA calls being attached. So if a customer reaches out to their home warranty company, or for whatever reason, American Home Shield called in about this job, we want to know, one, that it happened. So we had one HSA call, and this is the tech notes as normal. And we go down here, and this is the text correspondence that we had from the American Home Warranty Company. So this will allow me to read what or why the home warranty company called in for about this particular job. So it's pretty important because we can isolate potential problems really quickly. If I get in here and notice we had 2 for this job, why do we have 2? How many days has it been? How many days have we had this job? So all these different views and information compiled will allow us to get to a better understanding of the job. So now that we're past my brain fart, I don't think I can smell it no more. Let's go ahead and go back here to offer jobs. So these are all of our jobs that are offered. When I'm working inside here, the first thing I want to do is I guess we got to figure out what I'm doing. Okay, let's say I am Nick and I want to reach out to schedule this customer. First of all, if it's already still unoffered and nobody's changed it, I want to look at how many incoming calls or outgoing calls, right? So if I have, let's say, 6 outgoing calls and no incoming calls, but it's still offered, well, we've had a hard time getting a hold of that person. So I might prioritize the next one that would show me no outgoing calls, but 1 incoming. So that person's in a hurry. So we'll be able to really target the customers we go after based on their interactions with their company. You're able to adjust this view right here by this little button right there. Now you can only have 15 things in this category, so we'll take that off and we'll go here to outbound. Total outgoing calls. Now you can slide it up and put it right where you want on the view. And this works the same in every module. There we go, update. Okay, so now it did update this for us so I can see outbound and inbound, right? So total outgoing calls, right here, 1, no inbound calls. So this information is going to allow us to target how we interact with the customers on a quick glance. Somebody's not scheduled, and we've tried to reach them outbound 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Well, have we given them a text message yet? We can go right to this customer, or we can text them right here. So we know that we sent them out a welcome message. Call logs, it does show the call. So all of our communication is kept in this Tupperware bowl. It's the jobs Tupperware bowl. This will dictate how Alex interacts with the customers. So let's go back to this job, and we will show you how Alex moves the job around in real time. So let's say the customer calls in and, well, Alex decided that they were unhappy with us for whatever reason. They've only called in 1 time. That communication was negative. They're still in the scheduling portion of the job. We haven't even been out there to see them. We know this. Alex has told us this. Alex realizes that when the customer spoke to Sandy in customer service, that Sandy didn't do a great job communicating with her. She got a low score of 3. In real time, what's going to happen is Alex is going to adjust where this call is assigned to. So right now it's assigned to Bureau Admin, which means anybody would answer it. They're going to go ahead and say, listen, we want to make sure the next time this customer calls in, they get over to Bill, because Bill's a manager and this customer had a problem with the last person they spoke to. based on the AI. So it's going to, in real time, trigger this call to be moved over to me. So no longer will all the other phones ring. Only my phone will ring. So that's just one example of how Alex is going to move them around. Another example would be on the status. So we got a complete job. If that calls in, it's just going to go straight back to where it started off with this customer service scheduling. If for some reason that customer was had some issues or was difficult to deal with, we may get into some different statuses here in a minute, but for the most part, it's going to start back over. In progress, unscheduled, need part, right? For instance, need part. Um, a lot of times when we have need part, we're going to have a job that has some days on it that we just don't get these parts fast enough from the home warranty company. If that's the case, we need to make sure that we have somebody that's skilled and has the time to track their parts down for them. So if this job has need part status, it's going to automatically, and by the way, I need to undo that because I'm dealing with a real record. I almost forgot. So remember when you're playing around, it's going to want to take this job and assign it to, for instance, Nick. Nick is great with having the ability to track down parts. He's able to get on front door. He's able to get valuable information. So we're going to want to probably assign this to just Nick. So when this customer calls in, Nick's phone's going to ring. It's going to bypass all the other customer service reps. It's going to bypass me. And when it rings, it's going to be something that Nick is able to individually deal with. And this happens in real time based off the call flow. And that just kind of happens. It does it based off the job status. The job status would be offered, and it'll adjust the scheduling CS. But it also adjusts for other reasons too. So we have total calls today. If a customer was to call in, for instance, 3 times, regardless of the communication they had, we got a problem, right? I mean, AI's tried to pick up on it, but AI is not going to pick up on a no answer. AI is not going to pick up on certain situations. So if they call in 3 times, it'll automatically assign it back to me as a supervisor. So on the 4th call, if you wanted to set it that high, typically we don't. By the 3rd call, I'm going to get it. It's going to automatically switch that call to my status. HSA calls. If we have an HSA call here and I have the job's been in the system for 15 days and they've called in once today, well, hey, I want to talk to that customer because I know that HSA is already reaching out because the customer's wearing them out. So that's been escalated automatically through Alex straight to me. I can go further. I can have that also text Rob a text message to let him know what's going on. Hey, we have a customer that's been with us for 15 days. Now American Home Show's starting to call in. Bill's trying to handle it, but here's a copy of what's going on, if you so wanted. So that's another one. You look at calls this month, calls this week, outgoing calls. We have the dispatch completed date. This would be 2019. That means we were out there in 2019 on this particular job. And it just may show a little bit different than the marketing date because this is more targeted, but yet I can't use this Tupperware bowl to do my marketing. The Tupperware bowl for marketing is going to be the contacts or customers. This is all my activities directed to this customer from the job, very similar to the contacts, but it's specific to this job, not necessarily specific to all jobs. Does that make sense? So if I'm in the contacts view, I can see every contact for every job for 20 years. But in the job, I can only see the contacts related to this job, which is important to know because we want to trigger off what's going on now, not what's going on later. So we got our in progress tab. All these jobs have been marked in progress. This is not exactly in real time because I update it once a day. I do it in the morning, but as soon as we get our connection with front door, it will be live and in real time and adjust on the fly as we go, moving the calls around. Some really cool features with this. For instance, we could assign the salespeople a company phone, and they could literally have a call as soon as it's assigned to them from scheduling. Make that phone ring for only the times that the technician is running the call. How awesome is that? So as soon as that technician hits in progress, anytime that customer calls, they're going to get the technician. Anytime the technician calls out, they're going to get the customer. But as soon as the job is completed from the standpoint of the technician's visit today, it automatically goes back to customer service scheduling. So there's no need for all these different phone numbers and cell phones and all this information getting put out there everywhere. Alex can direct the calls to the person it needs in real time based off of the status. That's awesome. So 4 seconds after that technician ends that visit, they're now back calling customer service. That's going to ensure proper communication, and it's going to keep everybody on the same page because the phone communication with the technicians is going to be captured as well. So if the technician didn't do a 1 hour call, a 30-minute call ahead, we'll know. If he did and the homeowner gave him some poop about the timing, we'll know. And it's there to keep everybody on the same page. Um, so the jobs classification is where we do all of our day-to-day activities. So one of the biggest things you're going to have to get used to is how you search, right? Everything is by an address. So first of all, we can just we can type the address in right here and it'll search by address. Then you can also search by name. I actually, kind of like searching by name because it's easy, but we all know there's 5,000, John Smiths in the system. So we can search by the address as we always have. Excuse me. Now, from a manager's perspective, we're looking at this view right here of jobs. So is this in progress jobs? All right. In progress, we got 27 jobs in progress. All right. Wow. We got a job today that's been in our system for 28 days. It's in Dallas. And I'd like to just make sure how many times this customer has called. I have no incoming calls. It's weird. How have you been here that long? So first thing I want to do is take a look at the customer. He's been in here for one job. Now I want to look at the job. He's doing a free PMA. He must have went on vacation or something because I can't imagine we would take this long to get out to a PMA with him not calling in once. So there's the interesting information you can get at a very quick glance. Everybody that's used to using dispatch, they're going to have a change of view, but they're going to have just a wealth of information. So here's what I did I talked about earlier. I accidentally found myself back in contacts, and I did that, and I'll show you how. I'm in jobs. I click on a job. Right there, Chris Brown came up. If I get into here, it's going to switch my breadcrumb to contacts. So I lose my ability to go back. So, that's just something you got to watch out for when you're using it. It's going to take some time to get used to how this works, and I'm able to build a custom view for every single thing. A great example of that would be parts production. So all of our 13 SEER systems are right here. This is what we have. This is how many we have, and I made the view specific to this SEER rating, right? They're all equal, the same. Now we go to PSA, efficiency. Everything is set up just so Kevin can see it right, except for model numbers, because this is all of them. He wanted to have all of them show a little bit different because that's how the product name works. So we're going to be able to have every part of our job set up in these filters because vTiger essentially runs off of these filters the same as every module. So I showed you why the phone number is so important because based off this job stage, every single phone call gets moved around our company based off of who they're assigned to. They can be assigned to an individual or they can be assigned to a group. So obviously an individual would be me, Bill, and then a group would be the group settings. Manage users, groups. These are our group settings. So we have, let's go to pass through. Spam. Oh, I like the spam group. I can say, Alex, upgrade this call to spam. And next time they call in, they go to a bad number and say, I love it. I mean, I guess that makes me a little bad. I like that. So let's go here to, where's my pass-through group? Straight to bill. We edit that. That's going to pass-through. So if the people are issued a pass, it's going to go straight to me. Now, everybody that's not in our database automatically gets issued a pass because they could be a pay customer. But a lot of times it's a telemarketer or a husband calling on a wife's account. But at the end of the day, it's highly likely they could be outside of our system. So that's how we're able to assign who gets the phone calls. So again, that is here. settings, manage users, groups, and then we can assign our users right here. So we have Brew Admin, which is the main admin account. We got Nick, Maddie, Tracy, Kaylee, Lourdes, and Stacy. Now Stacy right now is being used as a uh, basically a dummy phone. One of the problems we're having because we're using a web-based phone system, right? You know how I answer the phone right here. There's a lot of reasons why that can get messed up. Internet issues, right? We all have internet issues. The internet slows down a little bit. Well, the way it communicates is with cookies and tokens. And if those cookies or tokens get out of whack, they're obviously a little bit more delicate than I thought. It may show it not ringing, even though we're getting a phone call. And the way we're backing that up is with that phone assigned to Stacy that actually rings a landline in the office, so we know a call's coming in. So we're actually trying to work through the issues with the cookies, but at the end of the day, it may not be a development problem. It may just be an inherent issue by using browser-based phones, which we have a solution for as well. It's pretty simple, but we don't want to implement that until we absolutely have to because the convenience of always being able to answer on the computer is better than having a desk phone, in my opinion, because we're having to clear some cookies right now. And obviously, get with me if you have issues with that, but it does boil down to the internet we're getting at the office for the most part. We're still trying to find an exact cause, but most likely that's what we're dealing with. All right, so this is going to close out the segment of the video for jobs. We're going to next hop into the phone system. That's not the most important part of it, but it is the funnest part. This is where you can really visualize the interactions in real time with the customer. So thank you for watching my video.